Hey, what's going on, guys? Matt from Heroes United here with our panel by panel series, here to review for you The Amazing Spider-Man #1 by Nick Spencer and art by Ryan Ottley. If you're looking to start on Spider-Man, this is the perfect place to start. Dan Slott had his long 10-year run on Spider-Man. It's not the most popular run of Spider-Man. Honestly, for me, I haven't read Spider-Man, and honestly, since he started the book. But going back and looking at his run, it left a lot to be desired, and Nick Spencer comes in and honestly brings Spider-Man back to basics. And ironically, that is what the first arc of the story is called, Back to Basics. And honestly, this book is straight back to basics. When you start the issue, it starts off with typical Peter Parker monologue, but you see that going back through Slott's last run, Nick Spencer picks up the pieces. He sees where Slott left Peter Parker, where he lost his company. He's pretty much like, he is out on his behind. That's typical Parker luck right here. And he's honestly trying to get back up on his feet. And this issue just shows the typical Peter Parker fashion. When things start going good for him, just like in this issue, he starts working back at Daily Planet again. He's actually the editor for the science edition of the Daily Bugle, which I thought was an interesting way to bring Spider-Man back to the Daily Bugle, is make him editor of the science portion, because he is a very scientific, smart character, one of the smartest characters in the Marvel Universe. But all that came crashing down when one of his papers was used for an anti-plagiarism demonstration for the technology at his college at ESU. Turns out that his paper was plagiarized because, if you guys remember, Dan Slott actually had Peter Parker become the superior Spider-Man when Doc Ock took over his mind.
Why?
Now, it wasn't necessarily my favorite series or the best direction I thought they were going to go. But, I mean, it's an enjoyable 30-issue series. I mean, I liked it, some pieces of it. But it's nice to see that we're actually dealing with the fallout of that, because Peter actually took that degree that he got from Otto Octavius' work and finishing his college degree. And he pretty much ran with it, never questioned anything about it. And he's finally dealing with the consequences of that. And he loses his job, his credibility. And not gonna lie, one of the toughest gut punches in this issue is actually Aunt May genuinely disappointed in him for actually not taking responsibility for plagiarism, because there's no real way he could explain it without coming out and saying, "Hey, Aunt May, I'm Spider-Man." But typical Spider-Man fashion, he's not gonna do that, because Spider-Man protects the people who he cares about, and that's why we love him.
I just wanted to be like you.
And I wanted you to be better.
In the issue, there's a lot of great action set pieces, and there's a lot of great Spider-Man character drama, especially if you're a fan of the Stan Lee era, Steve Ditko, that era. If you like David Michelinie, Tom DeFalco, Brian Michael Bendis, those writers, they have a real strong voice for Spider-Man. If you like those guys, then Nick Spencer definitely, he brings back that feeling. He honestly really gets Spider-Man. He's funny when he needs to be funny. He's cheesy when he needs to be cheesy. And honestly, when things go wrong for him, you genuinely feel for the guy. It's not a point where you don't feel sorry for him in any way. Run on this book, setting up a new villain for Spider-Man, seems to want to take him down piece by piece. Honestly, on a more like emotional level than typical Spider-Man villains have. But we don't know who this mystery villain is, but it's actually at the very end of the issue. It's actually really easy to miss in the first issue, so make sure you read that before jumping into issue 2. Now, I've currently read issues 1 through 4. I'm going to be picking up issue number 5 tomorrow, and once this Back to Basics story arc wraps up, I will be back to review the rest of it and give you guys my thoughts on that. But until then, definitely add this to your pull list, pick it up, give it a try. I highly, highly recommend that you do. I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it. But that'll be it for me today. This is Matt from Heroes United with Panel by Panel, and I'll be back with another book for you really soon. Stay tuned.